You could take the 5 worst presidents in American history and put them together, and they would not have done the damage that Joe Biden has done to our country in less than 2 years. The contrast between the Trump administration's amazing success and the Biden administration's breathtaking failure could not be more stark. Let's look at the facts. I got gasoline for cars. Put it in the tank. Thank you very much.
Dude. I love that he says
$1.87.
I love that he says, like, you know, gas prices were so low because of COVID. Like, he takes
They have
credit.
it now at $5, $6, $7. A friend of mine from California called me this morning. He just paid $8.55. He told me.
That's not true.
You'll follow. You'll follow. It's not even believable.
That's literally
With the help of our great Texas oil and gas
It's just not
workers,
true.
we
That's
achieved
why it's not
American
believable.
energy independence, and we were even energy dominant, and we were going to be
I love when people
double
say,
the
like, that's
size
not even
of
believable
Russia
about, like, a
and
complete
Saudi
false
Arabia
statement. You know what I mean?
combined.
Yeah, it's not believable
We were
because it's
going
fake.
to be energy dominant. Now the United States is becoming a beggar for energy. We're begging. We gave you the largest tax cuts and regulation cuts in American history. That's why we had the job numbers. And don't forget, you have not good job numbers right now. They're not counting all of the millions of people that aren't working. If you looked at the real numbers, that 3.5 would be double that. Maybe some people say triple that. The radical Democrats now intend to impose the biggest tax hike. Think of this. The biggest tax hike.
You mean the not workforce?
In bad times. In American history, this will be.
If you count all the
what they're
people
doing
not
right
eligible
now,
to work,
the
folks.
biggest tax hike.
Children and the
of our
elderly.
country, the exact opposite of
I
what
was making
did,
them get back
and
to
they're
work.
working feverishly to pile on more regulations at levels never seen before. I asked a lot
Unemployment
of
is
the big
officially, by
companies,
the way,
a lot
as of
the
this week, unemployment is now officially reached before pandemic levels.
cuts that I got for the country to get it going, and we never had a country going like we had before.
The economy's just on
China
autopilot
virus came in.
at
We
this
never
point.
had anything like
It's
it,
just
and then
doing
we
what it
did it
wants to do.
again. We did it
always been
again.
on
We did it
autopilot.
twice.
You're
The stock
figuring it
market
out.
was actually higher. It was actually higher than it was pre-COVID, as they say. COVID, such a nice name. I wonder where they got it. But I ran twice, I won twice, and did much better the second time than I did the first, getting millions and millions of more votes than in 2016, and likewise getting more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country by far.
Yeah, and you lost.
And now we may have to do it again. We may have to do it again. Thank you. Thank you. It's so sad what's happened to our country. We're like a third world country in elections, and we're like a third world country on airports. Has anybody been flying around?
He's right about that. Yeah, yep, got him.
LAX is a third world
Classic Trump. He just like hits you right where he's
Earth-shattering victory in 2022. We have to do it. Coming up in November. So to win in this November, this election needs to be a national referendum on the horrendous catastrophes the radical Democrats have inflicted on our country. The Republican Party needs to campaign on a clear pledge that if they are given power, they're going to fight with everything they have to shut down the border, stop the crime wave, beat inflation, and hold the Biden administration accountable. They have to hold it accountable. Job number one for the next Congress.
He lost to a corpse, literally. I think he would have lost to a turkey sandwich.
Thank you very much.
It would have been
I don't know.
worse.
Job
I mean, he
number
could've
one for
defeated
the
Hillary
next
Clinton.
Congress and the next president.
I think he'll defeat Hillary
will be
Clinton again when she
to
runs again.
restore
Beat him.
public
I really do.
safety. People are
think I
walking
could've beat him.
outside and
Goated,
getting
bro. Of course you could beat him.
shot in the head because of the radical left's merciless crusade to dismantle law enforcement in America. Our country is now a cesspool of crime, like it's never been before. They've never seen anything like it. You had 7 people killed in Chicago this weekend. You had 68 people shot. Savage criminals are being released on cashless bail to continue their violent rampages against the United States of America. Entire communities are being torn to shreds with stabbings, shootings, stranglings, rapes, and murders. On that little piece we showed you, did you see the man with the knife in the back? Did anybody see that? I looked at it. I didn't notice it the first time, and I looked at it tonight. I'm getting ready to come on. A knife right in somebody's back. The streets of our Democrat-run cities are drenched with the blood of innocent victims. Gun battles rage between bloodthirsty
sound
street
like we're
gangs.
in the fucking purge.
Bullets tear into crowds at random, killing wonderful, beautiful little children that never even had a chance. They're struck and they're killed, and carjackers lay in wait like predators hunting their prey. They want that car, they're going to take that car. In California, people are leaving the trunks of their cars open so criminals don't smash the windows when they try to rob their valuables. They leave the trunk open so that they don't break the car and break the back of the car when they try and steal the tire or whatever in the trunk. So they just leave it open, take it.
America's
But please don't
PvP
destroy my car.
unlocked.
In Los
We need
Angeles,
Batman.
burglars are stalking people back to their homes to clean out the entire house at gunpoint.
True.
They follow
All
them.
the time.
They live in Beverly Hills. They live in some
All the
nice
time. I'm
community.
being
They
robbed
follow
like
them back
nonstop,
and they
brother.
go into
The
It's
middle
just
class
crazy.
of
They
Beverly
do
Hills,
things that you don't want to
folks.
know about. And this
Tearing
has to
apart
stop,
the middle
and it has to
class.
stop.
I don't understand. Like, why does he
Now.
care about the bi-coastal elitists all of a sudden? You know what I mean? Aren't these like the elitist Democrat?
We are going
you
to
know,
make
libs?
America great again, but we have to make America safe again first. To repair the damage from Democrats, gutting of police forces nationwide, defund the police. How about that? Defund the police. Now they're saying, well, we really didn't say that. Oh, yeah, they did. And now they're saying it again. Never going to change. The next Congress should spearhead the largest increase in the hiring of police officers in American history, hiring tens of
Didn't Joe Biden
thousands
literally
more
fund
officers
more police?
nationwide.
He did.
Make our cities safe.
You bring
We
up
have
a
to
really
leave
good
our
point,
police
actually, which is
alone.
precisely
Let
what
them
I'm
do
saying.
their
Dumbass
job.
Democrats will literally concede the Republicans on the point that like the police need funding, like more funding, and then they'll end up funding the police more. But nobody believes when the Democrats fund the police more, and everybody believes that like the Republicans are truly funding the police. So it doesn't even fucking matter. They just hold the L.
You know, when I came out here a little while ago, I have a consultant, and he's a very nice person. He's a rhino. And he said to me, sir, I don't think you should say that last statement.
What'd he say?
I don't think you should say it. It's really not good. I don't think it'll be that popular. I said, what? You mean the fact that we should let police do their job? Sir, I think it's probably not going to be received well. I don't care. You have to let it be their job.
Yeah, I'm
He's a
sure a
rhino, but he's a
Republican
nice
said
person.
to Donald Trump, sir, you shouldn't say we should let the police do their job.
We need to return to the tried and true strategy of a thing called stop and frisk.
He's
Let
like,
me
he
take
wants
the
to
guns
implement
away
stop
from
and frisk
people that are
globally.
criminals.
Like,
Instead of taking guns away from law-abiding
At the
Americans, let's take them away from the violent felons and career criminals for a change. We also need a no-holds-barred national campaign to dismantle organized crimes. These are street crimes. Organized crime today is on the streets, and this administration doesn't want to talk about that crime. They want to talk about what they think are other crimes, and many people say they're not crimes. We have to round up the drug dealers, the gang members, and the dangerous offenders, charge them for their crimes, and get them either out of our country and back to where they came from.
Trump
or
is
put them
running on
behind
bringing
bars.
back stop and frisk to the entire country.
If you look at countries throughout the world, there's another thing. Please don't say it, sir. Please, sir. I've been doing this for 30 years, sir. Then I looked at his list of wins. It's not too good.
And why is he your
Please
consultant?
don't say it, sir.
Yeah, why did he? Why
If
is
you
he
look
hiring
at
you?
countries throughout the world, the
He's
only
like, I
ones
hire all the biggest losers.
problem are those that
I hire the
institute the
best.
death penalty.
He hires
for
the
drug
best
dealers.
losers just to laugh at them, I guess. All of my consultants, they're rhinos, they're cowards, they're losers. Believe me.
When I was in China, and until the plague came in, I had a very good relationship with President Xi. We made a great trade deal for our manufacturers and farmers, but after the plague, I don't even talk about
That was a
that
shitty deal.
Too much damage done. But I had a great relationship with President Xi of China.
Top G,
Strong
he
man.
loved me.
You could go all over Hollywood. You couldn't get an actor to play the role of President Xi. He's a great guy in many respects, but
Wait, what?
he's not too in love with our country. I can tell you that.
What?
But I said very innocently,
What does that have to do with anything?
do you have a drug problem? First time I met. And he looked at me like, what kind of a stupid question is that? No, I said, President, do you have a drug problem in China? No, I don't have it. Why would we have a drug problem? I said, well, what do you do? Oh, quick trial. Quick trial. I said, what's a quick trial? Quick trial is they bring drug dealers quickly to trial, and if they're guilty, it's immediate execution. Now, it sounds horrible.
Wait, what?
Sounds horrible. That sounds horrible, but every drug dealer in this country, they say on average, will kill at least 500 people. Some people think it's much higher than that. So you would stop it. And I believe...
What is going on?
If you instituted the death penalty for drug dealers, traffickers, I believe that drug dealing would go down 50% on day one. 50%. I really believe that. I think it goes down the day you institute it. I'll tell you one thing, if I'm a drug dealer, I'm going to say, no thanks, I'm going someplace else. And so other people.
Totally.
In Singapore, you see what's going on in Singapore? Very rich society, very powerful on drugs. They have no drug problem whatsoever. A lot of money, plenty of money to buy drugs. They have no drug problem. They have the death penalty for drug dealers.
This is fucking insane. Like, he's just straight up.
We have blue ribbon.
He's running on the
committees headed
Duterte
up by
campaign,
great
brother.
people that First
Also,
Lady
where
did
the
a good
fuck will
job.
Don
She
Jr.
worked
get his
hard.
drugs if he
We
kills
got
every drug
drugs
dealer?
and restore the ancient and sacred right to self-defense. I'm sorry. One thing you know, they take away your guns. They're not taking away the guns of the bad guy, are they? They're not going to take away the guns of the bad guy.
Dude, there are more
None of
guns
them are
than
giving
people
up
in
their
circulation in America.
We have
Whenever
to defend
people
our
like this
cherished
say,
Constitution.
whenever people say, like, we need to do more Second Amendment rights, I'm like, what do you want? Do you want to arm the babies? Like, who do you want to arm? What American doesn't have arms, man? It makes no sense.
I have arms.
And we have to restore one standard of
I have a
justice
shotgun,
in America.
which is terrifying.
One standard of justice. So unfair what's going on.
Don't say it openly, bro.
The weaponization
It's legal.
It doesn't matter.
of law enforcement
You
for
don't really
political
know that.
purposes
Well, yeah, you
must
do.
end. It must end immediately.
You don't want people?
There is massive
I actually don't have a shotgun.
prosecutorial misconduct
not.
going on
That
right
was like a
now
deterrent, actually.
all over our country, the likes of which has never been seen before.
I
They've
have
never
pepper
seen
spray
anything like
and
what's
cats.
going on right now. Look at all the people who are in prison or whose lives have been destroyed on January 6th, destroyed. A protest over a rigged and stolen election that nobody wants to look at, while others are allowed to burn
He's
down.
like execute drug dealers, so like every
Viciously
nonviolent
kill people,
drug
nothing
possessor,
happens to them.
but
How
also
about that?
make sure that the January
Prior
6th,
to
prison
January
abolition for the
6th.
January 6th
I
insurrectionists.
recommend it strongly. We mentioned it briefly before, but I have to say it again, that the National Guard or troops be brought in, but it was turned down by the D.C. mayor and Nancy Pelosi. We would have never had a problem. From
Wait, so he would have
10,000
called the National Guard on his own
20,000
hogs?
troops. Is that a correct statement, Cash and Rick? And
Wait,
everybody?
he's saying he would have called the National Guard on his
Thank
own
you.
hogalinas.
As we
What did-
take
what did he
power out of Washington, we also need to take power back from the left-wing lunatics who are indoctrinating our youth. We have to finally and completely smash the radical left's corrupt education establishment.
Talking
The
about you,
current
Austin.
system
Yeah, he's talking
is
about the gays.
sick.
No,
It's
radical
sick.
left.
Oh, yeah, that's
We're
me.
the lowest
The very
scores
radical
almost
left.
in the world, and we spend more per pupil than any other nation. School prayer is banned, but drag shows are allowed to
Yes.
permeate the whole
Everybody knows
place. It's okay.
Everybody knows drag hour at
You can't
school,
teach the
dude.
Bible, but you can teach children that America is evil and that men are able to get pregnant.
Everybody knows drag is a religion.
Whatever it takes, conservatives must liberate America's children from the captivity of these Marxist teachers' unions. That's what they are. Where do they
Separation
come
of
from?
drag and state, folks.
Marxist teachers unions. I love that.
We need to defend parents' rights. Think of this. I gave a talk a few days ago, and I was talking about defending parents' rights. And I just said, you know, it says parents' rights. I said, can you imagine we're even talking? We are going to defend parents' rights. Did you ever think 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that we would be fighting for parents' rights? What's more basic than parents' rights, especially parents' rights over their children?
Parents' wrongs.
We're trying to defend.
We're defending parents'
rights. It's
wrongs
so
now.
crazy. Across
We
the
like
country,
it when
we
parents
need to
do rights
implement
and
strict
wrongs.
prohibitions on teaching inappropriate
The
race.
greatest defense is the top of the hour ad break, though.
And we will keep men out of
I think he said we should abolish
women's
education.
sports.
God's third leg. Thank you for the 10 gifted.
This is all they fucking care about.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting a much larger applause for this than anything else.
But you say, where does it stop? Where does it end? It probably doesn't stop. Because despite great outside dangers, our biggest threat remains the sick, sinister, and evil people from within our own country. Never forget, everything this corrupt establishment is doing to me is all about preserving their power and control over the American people.
Yeah,
They want to
everything they're doing
damage
to
me
him,
in
they're
any
doing to
form
you,
so that I can
the
no
average
longer
American.
represent the hardworking citizens of our country, so that I will no longer get a 99% approval rating.
They're doing it to
from
hurt
CPAC.
your feelings, America.
I heard Matt protested. He said it can't be 8. It came out at 98. This is a story. I don't know if it's true, but Matt will tell you someday. He protested. He said, that's ridiculous. It can't be. So they went back and they checked all the facts. And it went from 98 to 99. Is that a true story? And that was McLaughlin. You know, that's a great, legit firm. That was McLaughlin. He said, can't be, that's too hard. It doesn't look right. Well, check it again.
It's really
99. But they don't like that. The other side doesn't like that much, man. And the fake news media is totally complicit in all of these things that are happening. If I renounced my beliefs, if I agreed to stay silent, if I stayed home, or if I stayed in my basement, the persecution of Donald Trump would stop immediately. That's what they want me to do, but I can't do that. And I will not do that because I love our country and I love the people of our country so much.
He has an unquenchable thirst for authoritarian power is what he has. He's a fascist. And that's what he wants. It's all self-serving. He doesn't give a fuck about you people.
I'm not doing this for me
Yes, you
because
are.
I had a very good and luxurious life. You know that, Kerry?
I think he also
had a very
wants to be
luxurious life. What the hell did I do?
Yeah, his dad.
I got a racist attorney general in New York that's been after me for years. She campaigned on the fact I will get Donald Trump. She doesn't know anything about me. I will get him. Terrible people. These are terrible people. I built a great company. Now they're finding
did
out
she
this
say-
was a great company. Great
Did he
company.
say she's
Actually better than
racist?
they thought. Much better. But I do it for you, and it's my honor.
Like because
do
he's
it. It's my
white,
great
like
honor to
anti-white.
do it.
She's black.
Because if I don't, our nation is doomed to become another Venezuela or become another Soviet Union, which is where we're headed.
Dude, he just
Or become a
fucking
very
straight
large-scale
up
version of
rambling.
Cuba,
Dude,
where
he's-
all is
I thought his
lost
speech
and there
was
is
gonna
no
end
hope.
45 minutes ago, and I'm
But
not
no
even
matter how
exaggerating.
big or powerful,
No,
the corrupt
he will keep going.
He
radicals,
keeps going in circles.
We
He's
are
hit
fighting
these points
against
like
Joe
Maybe-
Brandon doesn't have the energy. Let's go, Brandon. Let me get it. Let's
we
go,
must
Brandon.
never
Going in
forget
the
that
chat,
this
folks.
nation does not
he's like,
belong
you know when
to
you turn
them.
on the news,
This nation
and then you keep watching it for
belongs
about an
to
hour,
you.
and pretty soon the stories start to repeat. Exactly.
This
like
is
they
your
do.
home. This
Because
is
they
your
expect people to
heritage.
tune
This
out
is
and
your
tune back
country
in.
that your American ancestors
We don't even need to go
won
back
with
to the
their own
beginning because we've
courage,
probably heard it.
defended with their own blood, and built with their own hands.
Hold on, he's gonna say some new racist shit in a second.
From the jagged peaks of the Rocky Mountains
It's awesome.
to the gleaming waters of the Great Lakes, from the majestic valleys of California to the beautiful hill country of Texas.
Texas is fucking ugly. I'm sorry. It's flat.
From the stark
Thank you.
prairies of the Great Plains to the
God
banks
bless Texas.
of the
No, it
Rio
didn't.
Grande,
Gave it a lot of fracking cum, but
which is under siege also,
gave it a lot of that oil, but not much else.
What hills
of
in
New
Texas?
York and Chicago and L.A. to the beauty right here of the storied Alamo.
Alamo!
We inherit the legacy of generations of American patriots who poured everything they had into the nation that they loved. They scaled the summits, they forged the rivers, they crossed the sweltering deserts, braved blistering winters, conquered an unknown wilderness, and settled the great frontier. They laid down the railroads. They built out the highways. And they turned tiny villages towering into great magnificent buildings of iron and steel.
Who the fuck
like
is he talking
nobody had
about?
ever seen before. They did it all to make America into the greatest and most exceptional nation in the history of the world.
Who?
Immigrants. Like literally. Literally immigrants. He's talking about immigrants that did all that.
But now we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. We are a nation that is hurting very, very badly. We are a nation that has the highest inflation in over 40 years.
Oh, my God.
And where the stock market just finished the worst first half of the year since 1872. Likewise, we are a nation that has the highest energy cost in its
Stop
history.
raging over the hedges.
We are no longer energy independent or
Dude,
energy
parasocial
dominant
weirdos are so fucking
as we
strange.
were just 2 short years ago.
I'm not even raging. What the
We're a
fuck?
nation that is
talked
begging
about the hedges in 2
Venezuela,
hours.
Saudi
Yeah, some mobile
Arabia,
chatter.
and many others for oil. Please, please, please help us, Joe Biden says. And yet we have more liquid gold right under our feet than any other country in the world. We are a nation that is consumed by the radical left's Green New Deal, yet everyone knows that the Green New Deal will lead to our destruction. We're a nation that surrendered in Afghanistan, leaving behind dead soldiers, American citizens,
Oh, my God, dude.
and
I
$85
cannot
billion
believe this.
worth
He's doing
of
it.
the
He's going
finest
back again. Yeah.
I know.
military
We've covered
equipment
this
in the
already.
world.
He looped again, but they love
And
it,
we are a
dude. They're
nation
like,
that
yeah,
allowed
they
Russia
have no
to
object
devastate a
permanence
country,
anyway.
Ukraine,
So for them, it's
killing
like,
hundreds of thousands
He
of
used to
people,
be better at these speeches.
and it will only
well,
get worse.
to be fair, he hasn't done one in
it
a
would
long
never
ass
have
time. So I
happened
think he
with
just
me
like
as your
misses his
commander
fucking
in
hog.
chief. And for 4 long
misses his
years,
hogs.
it didn't.
So he's like excited to do it
And China,
for hours for him.
with
You know?
Taiwan, is next. Would also never have happened. We are a nation that has weaponized its law enforcement like never before.
How do they
against
even fucking flip
the
that?
opposing
Like,
political
isn't
party.
Nancy Pelosi doing something
We are
that
a
they
nation that
technically
no
want,
longer
which is like
has
a
a
big
free
fuck you to
press.
China? I thought
No longer
Republicans
has
like
a
Nancy
fair
Pelosi's
press.
China trip now.
Fake
Did.
news is all we
my
get.
Republican family loves it.
And they are the enemy of the people.
They also love
We are
Hasan,
a
who
nation
hates
where
Nancy
free
Pelosi.
speech is no longer allowed, where crime is rampant like never before,
Right, brother.
where the
They love
economy
it. They
has
love how
been
Hasan hates Nancy
collapsing at a rate that few have ever seen, where more people died of COVID in 2021
This is
than
true.
died in 2020.
This is true.
We're a nation that is allowing Iran to build a massive nuclear weapon, which they are incredibly
Trump
being allowed to
supporters.
do right now, and I had it stopped. And China to use the trillions
Like
and
way more
trillions
Trump
of
supporters
dollars
died
it has
in
taken from
2020
us
under
prior
Doc Brandon,
to
under
our
Doc Brandon's
administration.
rule.
And it's happening again.
That's
To
what
build
they-
a military
out of protest.
that will more than rival our own. And just 2 years ago, we had Iran, China, Russia, and North Korea in check. And they weren't going to do a thing against us. And everyone knows it. And perhaps most importantly, we are a nation that is no longer respected or listened to around the world. We are a nation that in many ways has become a joke. We are a nation that is hostile to liberty, freedom, and faith. We are a nation that allows men to play sports on women's teams and to dominate them.
That's
We are
such
a nation
weird
whose
thing to
airports are a
add to, like,
disaster.
to be
whose
like,
flights-
disaster is afoot, the world is burning, China's gonna kill all of us. Also, men get to play high school basketball with women. It's like, even if that was true, which it isn't, okay? It's such a like a marginal thing to tack on to your otherwise super serious like global events.
Educational system is ranked at the bottom of every single
You know what I
list.
mean?
But we are not
This
going
speech
to
is
let
longer
this
than a lover
continue.
host.
2 years ago, we had the greatest in our nation.
Like
We had something that was...
China is going to teach Mandarin to every child after their drone army destroys America. Also, there's a trans girl in Utah, and she did a swim meet one time with the rest of the cis girls. Believe me, it's these two things, they're the same. Equal magnitude, folks. The world is going, the world is out of control.
November, and it will continue onward with the unstoppable momentum that we're going to develop on November 2024, because that's the big one.
Why does he
We are
just
going
announce
to
he's
keep
running?
on
He can't help
working.
himself.
We are going to keep on fighting. We're going to keep on winning.
He doesn't mention Roe v. Wade anymore because he knows it's unpopular, by the way. Notice how he used to run on like Roe v. Wade is going to be abolished or whatever, but he doesn't really make that a centerpiece of his campaigning anymore because he knows that like it's broadly unpopular. You can't fault the man. He knows how to read the fucking room, baby. Like even in this room, like
There's never been anything like it.
you know he would
You
get a
could
lot
say
of cheers in this room, but ultimately it would make him look bad nationally.
And it's interesting because sometimes I'll make a comment and I'll be challenged so strongly by the fake news. But they never even challenged me on that. I've never been challenged. I look at them right now. A lot of viewers watching. They've never challenged me. It's the greatest movement in the history of our country by far. And it will only get stronger with each passing day.
Why would you write that in the
And with the
chat?
help of all of you here
I guess they get
tonight and the
banned.
millions of patriots all across our land,
Idiot.
we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again.
Oh, yes, folks.
He's finishing.
We will make
Mawa.
America strong again.
Maza.
We'll make America safe
We will
again.
make America proud again.
Yes, folks.
Mappa.
We will make America safe
again.
And we will make America great again. Thank you very much. Thank you.